We all want a partner who we can connect with authentically and have a happily ever after kind of life where we point to each other's needs as we build a beautiful life together. But for whatever reason, sometimes it does not go as per the script. And where we thought was our shelter from life's storms and source of stability and support turns out to be a toxic environment and the source of the storm itself. The honeymoon is over. The respect and the support we were getting before is now gone. You now start thinking of ending any relationship is not an easy fit, regardless of if it's toxic or not. It's not easy to come to terms with the separation from someone who we've lived our life around. And it's good to know that not all relationships can be saved. And at times, the more we stay, the more we get hurt, especially when we are in a toxic relationship. It's even much harder to leave a toxic relationship because it comes with a combination of factors from codependency, anxiety, fear, and low self-esteem. Being in a toxic relationship ruins our health and well-being. And this video will address on some of the tips you can use so that you can leave a toxic relationship for good. One of the first things to do is to stop making excuses for your partner's actions or for why you should not leave. It's more about seeing the relationship for what it is presently and not denying its toxic nature. Once this is done, you realize that you no longer want to be part of this. The more you live in the illusion of the grooming stage of the relationship, the more it becomes harder for you to live. But the more you open your eyes, the more it becomes easier to find a way out. And as they say, truth will set you free. And indeed, it will free you from the shackles of a toxic relationship. Secondly, stop waiting for them to change. One of the biggest mistakes we make in a relationship is clinging on the hope that they will change. What we need to realize is this: a person only changes if they are accountable to their actions and show the willingness to get help. And we all know that toxic people are never accountable for their actions. In fact, accountability and toxic people is more like water and oil. They never mix. What I always say is this: instead of waiting for them to change, you change instead. Of course, they may make empty promises that they are going to change, but actions speak louder than words. Instead of listening to their words and promises that they are going to change, focus more on the behavior they are displaying in the present moment. Irrespective of what we say to ourselves, some relationships cannot be fixed. It's also not your job to convince them or to fix them, as that's not within your locus of control. And true change only comes from within, and it can't be forced. Also, good to know that when they realize that you are about to leave, they will give more and more empty promises. And this is the moment where you should notice the frequent pattern of empty promises and stick to your decision. Thirdly, always know that you deserve better. Months and years of being in an emotionally abusive relationship, you start thinking that that's how your life is supposed to be. This also happens because it's a place where you keep giving and giving, nothing in return but just negativity. You start believing that you deserve no better and you shame and blame yourself for your life's circumstances. This is the point where you need to start reaffirming to yourself that you deserve a happy life. You can do this by visualizing how your life would be without them, the freedom, the peace you will have, and the possibility of a healthy relationship in future. You may also daydream of how awesome and enjoyable your life was before the relationship. All this will just fuel your desire and urge to leave the relationship. The fourth tip is to accept that leaving is going to hurt. Detaching from someone you once loved is such a painful experience, and as I said in my past video, we experience the same negative emotions as when we lost a loved one. Accepting that it's going to hurt will allow you to be better prepared for what's coming, and you may even develop better coping mechanisms that will help you navigate through this period. Accepting the reality that's going to hurt will also allow you to soften up, and this will open the door to your own courage, compassion, and wisdom, which is needed when you are living a toxic relationship. The fifth tip is to come up with a detailed plan on how you are going to manage the transition. Living a toxic relationship when you are financially dependent on your partner can be quite challenging. So a detailed plan is just like building a safety net of what you are going to need. This may involve saving up some money if you don't have enough savings already. It may also involve getting a job if you don't have one. And as we know that financial independence is just a very good way to carve out our freedom. The more the plan is, the more it will reinforce the idea that you are going to make it through this moment. It's also good to know that if your partner has ever displayed signs of violence or has ever threatened you, keep the records and consider taking a restraining order against him to ensure your safety. One thing to keep in mind here is not to fall for the trap of over planning without taking action. Let the plan be just something secondary, but living be the main objective. The sixth tip is to build a support network you can rely on. Once you've decided it's time to leave the relationship, seek the necessary help from friends and family to help you execute the plan. They may offer you with material support, a place to stay, or even just emotional support. It's also good to be aware that some of our friends and family may be enablers of the abuse. So you better narrow down on only those people you can trust and count on. Seeking professional help is also a great option, as they will provide you with necessary guidance and keep you accountable on your actions. The seventh tip is to communicate less with your partner. Toxic people are so charming and cunning, and they can easily blackmail you and lure you back in, especially when they feel that you are about to leave the relationship or you are drifting away from the relationship. The lesser you communicate with them, the more clarity you have on forging your way forward. You can do this by maintaining the conversation in the dry and boring level, by not becoming so much involved in their future plans, or also by not sharing your plans with them. This will slowly detach you from the relationship. This will also keep you away from the constant verbal abuse you experience when you communicate with them. Maintaining constant communication with them may also make you fall for the maybe illusion. Maybe it will work out, maybe I'm not giving enough, and this may kill your dream of ever leaving that relationship. Last tip is to focus on working on your self-esteem and self-care. Being in a toxic relationship gives a huge blow to our self-esteem, as we've been called names and verbally abused, which makes us to constantly question our self-worth. We've also neglected our general well-being, and we've become too unsure of ourselves. That's why what will help you get up and live is to focus on rebuilding your self-esteem and taking care of yourself by focusing on activities that improve your general well-being. This may involve just engaging in more healthy habits in your life. A better self-esteem will make you more assertive and more firm on the decision you are about to make. Being in a toxic relationship is a painful experience, and you might even feel trapped in it. Leaving it will require you to be courageous and brave. But once you make this step, it will be liberating and freeing, and new opportunities and floodgates will open up in your life again. It doesn't matter if you've been in it for a long time. I want you to know that there is always a way out. You deserve to find happiness and comfort in your life. And you can always find the best professional help to help you navigate through this period. That's it from me today. Until next time, thank you.